Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode of Janice's Crazy Life that you never asked for. Yes, remember this is the documentary series that I'm doing about my life, mostly for my kids to have forever, but also there is a higher purpose for it. We do talk about God here. We do talk about some stuff, so this isn't for you. Scroll along. It's fine with me. I don't care. Haters be hating. And is supposed to be Monday Workout Madness. It is like 11 p.m. now. Today was my daughter's birthday. So happy birthday. But no, I take my kids out on their birthday and we do lunch, whatever they want to go eat, and then we just spend the day shopping what they want to get. There is a budget, obviously. But yeah, so that's what we did today. And I did not get to film until right now, so that's why you're getting it right now, and you didn't get a workout today. However, I've been working on a few new ones, and I'm really excited. And I am going to film it tomorrow, so I'll put it on tomorrow, Tuesday. Sometimes that happens. I should turn it to workout Tuesdays because, this has happened quite a bit. I'm sorry. Um, I am trying to be more consistent, so bear with me. Here we go. So we also have to take care of our mental health, and we do have Food Fridays, but I might turn that into Fun Fridays because there's so many other health food recipes out there. Like everybody's doing it. It's fine. Um, we just stick to clean eating. That's what we're supposed to stick to is try to do as best we can to be clean eating, but we also have to be good with our mind. And being a 3-time brain injury survivor, I'm finally at that point where I can actually finally talk about the incidences, but it's about my recovery. That's the important part that I want you to more focus on. And we'll talk about like what I went through, like weird shit my body did, um, just stuff like that. It got to a point where I finally did seek out help, but um, yeah. And then when I did, I got recommended for a physical therapist that is also a holistic healer. And my aunt actually introduced me to her, and I use her for Levi as well. And she's awesome. She actually showed me the books that I need to study because of my brain injuries. I actually wake up every day at 3 a.m. and I can't go back to sleep. So, and at first it was me crying all the time, and just having the flashbacks all the time. But now I study and I like really cherish that time now. And it's important to like study your family history. That's super important. It's really cool. And the part of the reason why I wanted to do the documentaries is because of my grandma, my great grandma. And it's just like really cool. So, also why I'm doing this. But there is also a higher purpose to all of it. And I do have to share, like, I won't share all of my childhood with you because I know that's probably like super boring. Um, I'll just share some of it, and then I'll probably do like reels on other things just to like make it funny. That might be like, I don't know. I don't know how I'm going to do that actually yet. It's just kind of crossed my mind. Thinking out loud. Anyways. Okay, so first off, I wanted to share something out of this book that's like super cool and important, kind of to today's time and how we're recognizing that like um a lot of things have been kind of like a lie. A lot of us are becoming conspiracy theorists, you know what I mean? And there's something cool in here about medical stuff back in the 1800s. And I just really want to share with you because it's awesome, but I kind of have to give you a little backstory. Um, and two, I wanted to nerd out on you for a second because I am a nerd and I like to study and I like to read all kinds of things. And there's something cool that I found at my sister's house when we were doing the garage sale the other day. So I want to share with you with that. And it's just kind of crazy because everything is always all connected. It's freaking me out. Okay. So, ready? Backstory. Here we go. And then we'll get into more my life stories. Okay. Ready? So my grandma grew up in Caliente. Well, they ended up staying there. That's where they ended up settling, is in Caliente, which is Rainbow Canyon. But before that, She, when they were living in Canada, because they had moved around a lot, and when they moved at one point to Canada, and when she was going to school there, they had to take the train, okay, to get from home to school and school to home. So they're coming home, and back then they had the really long dresses, and I don't remember why they weren't stopping the train at this point. I think there was something wrong with it when they had to restart it. It was like hard restarting it. And I don't remember the whole reason why, but it was something to do with that. So they had to just kind of like help people jump off. And it was going like 2 miles an hour. So it's not like horribly fast. However, her dress got caught in the wheels when they were lowering her down. And it sucked her under and it chopped her legs off at the knee. So she was 8 years old when that happened. So she had fake legs. I don't know when she got the fake legs, but I do remember as a kid, because she babysat us sometimes, I remember going to the store and just remembering her and her fake legs. It was just cool. But anyways, let me get back to it. So they settled in Rainbow Canyon in Caliente. And I wanted to read something to you out of this book. So I got to nerd out for a second because it's actually really important. So let me get there. Hold on. Just give me a second. Okay, ready? Section 1, Part 4, Medical Care of the Times. Conventional care. Early settlers in the Middle Valley Wash in 1875, with the nearest medical doctor residing 32 miles distant at Pioche, were dependent on their own medical knowledge and skills to treat those in the need of medical care. In an effort to provide the best medical care possible for the sick or wounded, consultation with the service of those having any medical knowledge were sought, i.e., Paiute Indian medicine men, housewives, midwives, and those men who treated ailing animals, self-styled veterinarians. In every household, 2 books were considered to be absolutely necessary: the Bible and a doctor book. The Bible provided spiritual guidance, and the doctor book contained information about everything else: recipes for concocting medicine, brewing herbs, sewing, cooking, tanning leather, diagnosing illnesses, and delivering babies. Medical advice was often provided in other books. Many cookbooks and monthly magazines devoted a section of the book medical treatment, including the White House Cookbook and the Ladies' Home Journal. Treatment of disease or illness by the womenfolk was the usual procedure. Comparison of symptoms, diagnosis, or illness, and the brewing of medicine were done as instructed in the doctor book. And more often than not, the patients were cured. Babies were usually delivered by midwives. Bearing complications all went well, but when difficulty was encountered, the lives of both mother and baby were in jeopardy. The Paiute medicine man. People residing in the Meadow Valley Wash were hours away from immediate professional medical care. J.D. Campbell, residing 30 miles northward in Pioche, was their nearest doctor. Many times they engaged the Paiute medicine man to care for their injury or an illness. Many of the 1,235 Indians residing in Lincoln County in 1880 lived in a teepee village in the Meadow Valley Wash. The medicine man treated their injuries and ailments by using his professed supernatural powers of healing and administered a concoction of various seed, herbs, mystical brews, and snake oil. Many miraculous cures were manifest. Some failure resulted also. The ranchers and the Paiute Indians residing there became friends. They were known to each other on a first-name basis, and they enjoyed an amicable relationship. Amicable. Okay, I said that totally wrong. Amicable. Okay, Joe Conway, which is crazy because I named my dirt bike Joe because it's named after my spirit guide. Anyway, so it's kind of funny, right? So anyway, Joe Conway, a Meadow Valley Wash cattleman, owned a team of skittish horses. They were a well-bred, well-matched pair of dapple gray horses, driven almost exclusively by Joe Conway. They were his pride and joy, but they were easily spooked. These fine horses also had a tendency, when frightened, to break into a run and become most difficult to manage. Joe Conway was injured when his favorite team of horses did just that, causing him to lose control of the reins. He was thrown from the wagon. He landed on his feet and suffered a broken ankle. The Indian medicine man was contacted immediately and set the broken ankle. Unfortunately, the result was less than satisfactory. Joe limped through the rest of his life on a crooked ankle. They still remained friends. He had been given the best care available. Hold on, there's more. Not much more, hold on. The medicine chest potpourri. Listen close. The medicine chest in each household was well stocked with medical supplies, including bandages made from old sheets or flour sacks, syrup, a concoction of boiled honey, onions, and vinegar for sore throats, sulfur, to be blown through paper tubes into the throat to relieve inflammation, Hall's Canker Cure, a medicine purchased at the drugstore for sore throats and diphtheria, mustard, made into a paste used for making poultices to relieve aching backs and congested lungs, seeds, to be boiled and made into a paste to draw infections from boils, Lysol and carbolic acid to prevent infection and abrasions in wounds, Kickapoo juice, a Paiute Indian concoction which possibly did not cure the ailment but made the patient oblivious to any pain or discomfort. Trib, a horse liniment used to relieve sore muscles of people as well as horses. Brigham tea, brewed from an herb growing in the meadows and on the hillside, used to calm shattered nerves. Epsom salts, steeped in a basin of hot water to soothe aching feet, also used for sitz baths. Okay, I'm going to pronounce this one wrong. It's calomel, Calomel, a purgative which has a harsh treatment taken to cure all internal ailments. Lydia E. Pinkham, a tonic for weak women. Syrup of figs, a laxative for small children. Okay, another one, IPECAC, IPECAC, used as an emetic for poisoning, and whiskey, used to dull the senses as an anesthetic and a sure cure for all ailments. No wonder drugs available. The use of the so-called wonder drugs, perfected in the 1900s, including, among others, antiseptics, antioxidants, antibiotics, and sulfa drugs, could have prevented much suffering and death. The people residing in the Meadow Valley Wash during the 1800s and early 1900s had no such options available. Homemade remedies and available patent medicines were ineffective in combating the dreaded diseases of smallpox, whooping cough, diphtheria, measles, and a serious infection known as child bed fever, which often proved fatal for the mother of a newborn child. Not only was it necessary for the pioneer settlers of the Meadow Valley Wash to have the physical stamina to wrest a livelihood from the virgin soil, it was also necessary for them to have the mental stamina to withstand and successfully cope with the stress caused by tragedy and disaster, which tested them to the breaking point. Pretty cool, huh? So it's crazy because, I study medical stuff, like what my doctor recommended me study, Theravada medicine, and I actually signed on to be a doTERRA advocate. I think it's been 2 years now. And I didn't really do much with it because I didn't really understand the business side of it. So if you are interested in that, I'd love to share with you. I do want to put together a class. So if you're local, I wanted to do it in person, and I'll get to that later, but I just got to put it together and figure it out first. But to talk about the business end of it, because I kind of figured something out. Anyway, but it was funny. So I studied all that, right? And my sister was having a garage sale. And so I was helping her with that on Saturday. And she happened to have some books there that very much intrigued me. One, we are Paiute Washoe, and we are also Swedes. and I found this Norway book, and it talks about the Vikings and the Swedes and all that stuff. And I'm like, what? Okay, I'm keeping that. Because she was like, whatever you see, you can keep. She's just trying to get rid of whatever she can get rid of. So I'm like, all right. Also, this family medical guide. Interesting. So I'm like, I'm going to take that. It literally has everything, birthing, all of it. All of it of what I just read to you. What? Okay, that's crazy. And cool. And just like shows how everything is always connected. It'll make sense the more I continue telling you my stories and then other stuff too, which is crazy. Almost unbelievable. But we'll get to all that and my life experiences. So I hope you enjoy. Okay, so I changed the color to blue. I love this color light. It's pretty fun. Okay, so what's crazy is, so later when my grandma got married, she and my grandpa, they moved to Yerington, which is where I reside now. What? I was born in Reno, and I did not want to go back because the city is annoying. No offense. I I get road rage when I'm over there. Okay, I don't know how y'all can live through that. It's constant traffic. It's worse than Hollywood. Okay, and we had to go to Hollywood all the time for Levi's medical care because they don't have neurology specialists in Bakersfield. Um, so I had to drive an hour there too. So it's like the same amount distance, so it doesn't matter to me. Um, but it's just funny because I ended up back in Yerington, and that's where a lot of our grandparents and great grandparents are buried and where they all started. So my grandpa ended up being mayor of Yerington for quite some time. And she was a teacher, and she also advocated for disabled people to have jobs and that they were capable of jobs, and she started that because she was disabled, like so she's my mom's mom. Anyway, I remember when she was babysitting us and she took us to the grocery store. I was, you know how you lay on the bottom of the grocery cart? Um, I was I was laying on the bottom of the grocery cart, and she was picking out some kind of can. She was looking at cans and reading the back of the cans, and I'm just like staring at her and her wooden legs, and she had a bunch. Okay, she had like 5 of them because they had different shoes painted on them. And I feel like I told the story. I don't know if I did. Well, I guess I'm repeating. It's a brain injury thing. We forget sometimes. Don't tell me your name. I won't remember 2 seconds later. It's true. At least a lot of my before the incident, and like the incidents and before, I remember. Everything after is very much challenging to remember and retain. It's so fun. Anyways, she's looking at cans, and I'm looking at how amazing it is that she can walk so flawlessly in these wooden legs, like she doesn't have fake legs at all. Like they were just natural. I was always in awe about that. But I loved it. I loved going over there. She always had Swedish candies, and she always had like everything in her house was pink because she loved pink. But my grandpa had his own like man room, so there was like a brown leather couch, and it definitely smelled like a man in there. He would spray his cologne in there, and he had all these books and all these different like little things, and it was really cool. But yeah, she loved pink, so a lot of her furniture was like this couch. We ended up getting from them after she passed away, and they're getting rid of the stuff. Um, it was all the way a rose pink couch, and then some rocking chairs that were brown but had like pink flowers in them, and just pink everything. Everything was pink. But she loved to tell us all about the stories, and everything about her life. And then because she was a teacher, she also taught a lot of uh, Native Americans as well. And so she would tell us what she learned from them, and like it was really cool. She was like really fun about it. Um, and when Pocahontas came out, she like had to take us. She's like, we gotta go. We have to go because you need to learn more about your history. You need to learn about more about our culture and all the stuff. And this is gonna be great. So it's cool. That's really cool. And because she had wheelchairs all the time, me and my brother and my sister, whenever we got babysat by them, we would go. They lived in a cul-de-sac over in Carson somewhere. I don't exactly remember where. I just remember we were always fell asleep getting there because it takes an hour to get there. Anyway, so we would always take their wheelchairs and just like race them around the cul-de-sac and just have a good old time. Zach got real tricky with them, and then he taught me how to do it, so that was cool. But yeah, we had a blast. We had fun. It's kind of cool, and we were really lucky, I think, in our generation that we actually got babysat by our grandparents and our aunts and uncles and our great grandparents. Like they all pitched in. And nowadays, I feel like that like is non-existent, and it's kind of crappy. Like we're supposed to be a village, we're supposed to be a team, we're supposed to be like that's what family's for. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be like this community that helps each other, call on each other. Um, and I'm gonna sit here and eat my words because I know my brother's gonna be like, "Oh, I asked you for help, but you know what? I did help, and you still kind of squandered that and did a lot of stuff, and you dug yourself a hole, and I can't just, then I'm just contributing to you continuing that way. You know what I mean? Like I said my piece with you, and I love you at a distance right now, and it is what it is, and that sucks. It does because I want nothing more than to help, but I can't. And I definitely don't want to be, what's the word? It's the other word for contributing to it. You know what I mean? I don't know. You know what I mean. Um, Anyways, I kind of forgot what I was going to say next. Shoot. I should have wrote this down. I started to, and then like I stopped. It started off cute, kind of, and then it got real jumbled, and I can't even read it. It's bad. Um, no, it's okay. And sorry for the clicking on the microphone. I must have been too close, wiggling it weird. Sorry for the click, click, click. Okay, so I'm going to conclude this video there, and then we'll do the next one just shortly after this. I just didn't want to take up all your time, and then you got things to do, and I didn't want to go too long with the videos because, you got things to do. So, I will see you in a little bit in the next one, and this way you can watch them when you can, and then they're not too long. So, all right, subscribe. That helps me, and it's free for you, and you'll get notified for the next videos coming up. So, have a great rest of your night or day whenever you're watching this, and thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking by, and love ya. See ya.